Hello and welcome to the Sweaty Startup. We're going to take some live phone calls tonight, try to help some people for what it's worth, right? I mean, who am I? Just your average dude. But I'm excited. Looking forward to doing more of this. Thank you all for tuning in. So, first we got Caden, a landscaper. Here we go, getting right to it.
Hello?
Hey, Caden, this is Nick with the Sweaty Startup. How's it going?
Oh, hi.
Did you forget about our call?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I forgot about that.
Okay, no worries. I will call the next person.
All right.
All
Sorry about
right,
that.
no worries. Well, we are off to a wonderful start. We're going to roll right along. Calling next on the list. If you want to call in, email nick@sweatystartup.com. Tell me a little bit about your business. Give me your phone number. Maybe we'll give you a ring. Call in number 2, Ellie.
You've reached Bubble Rose Cleaning Company. Clean as a bubble, pretty as a rose. Leave a voicemail and one of our team members will get back with you shortly.
All right. This is going great. It's going wonderfully. I'm going to try number 3 on the list. Cam from Atlanta.
Hello, this is Cameron Hoover with Reflexo Digital.
All right, he's not till 8:30, so he gets a pass. Okay, well, I'm here. I'm live. And, getting a call back. Hello, this is Nick.
Hey Nick, it's this is Daniel. I think I thought I scheduled it for 8 or something, so I thought I'd just call you, and I didn't know if you ever got my message with my phone number.
All right, this is perfect. How's it going, Dan?
Good, it's nice to sort of meet you.
Yeah, we're live right now, and actually, I didn't have you on my schedule, but the first 2 calls didn't answer, so we're live.
Perfect.
So tell me, what do you got going on? It's window cleaning, is that right?
Yes.
And where do you live?
So I live in Indiana.
Oh man, a Hoosier. I live in
Yeah.
Indiana. I grew up in Indiana.
Yeah, I
So
remember reading that. That's why I was confused when I was calling you. It said Indiana number, but
yeah,
I
you're
live.
just Crawfordsville, just east of Indianapolis, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Or
so
just west. Yep.
small, yeah, just west, small town. Probably what, about 10,000 people or a little less there.
Yeah, right around 20,000 in my county total. So.
Perfect. So how far along are you so far?
Well, I technically started last month. Originally, I got the idea about 3 years ago or so. watched a Keith Keltis video
Yep.
about how to start
Yep.
a window cleaning business. And and that just caught my attention, but all it became was more of like okay, well, that's a cool idea. Maybe one day I'll do something with it.
Did you have a
I
full-time
made it.
job at the time?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So what was your first steps? And did you quit your job right away, or did you do it on the side?
so like I said, just started it this year in August. I still have a full-time job.
Perfect.
I'm right in the middle of. I actually just changed shift. I was on the night shift trying to do it in the mornings before work, and this week I changed over to the day shift. So now I have 3 days off. So I think that'll work out for me. To actually dedicate 3 full days to it.
Perfect. Perfect. So have you got any clients yet?
Yeah. So actually, my the very first time I ever cleaned windows, I walked into a game store and I told the lady there that I'd clean her windows for $5, and she said that was fine. So I just got started. It took me, quite a long time to clean them, but it was a good way to learn, and it
Oh,
paid me. It
a
got paid
game
to
a
do it.
game store like a GameStop?
It's a locally owned
Perfect.
game store.
Okay, so you got that first client. What was next?
Sure. So then that's when I kind of got lazy with it, and I never, that was the first and last time really for like probably 3 months that I ever, walked in anywhere to,
Okay.
ask for the sale or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to August when I really, I don't know when I started reading a lot of Sweaty Startup stuff
All
and
right.
things like that. And I
So
remember
that's we're
listening
talking one
to,
month ago. You got serious.
yeah, it was actually right after I listened to, I can't remember who you were, um, or I was listening to a Bobby Walker podcast, The Journey of the New Entrepreneur.
Okay,
Um,
I'll have to check that out. Send me a link when we get off the line. Okay, awesome.
yeah,
So what were your first steps? Do you have a website? What's your web address? I'm gonna type it in here.
so my website's pretty crap, but it's o'neillwc.com.
Okay, perfect.
Um, and I haven't actually, I haven't gotten any sales from the website. But anyway, my first house I ever did was my lady that just found me on Google because I'm so small that in this town that I was instantly number one on
A
Google
Google
for
a
window
Google My
cleaning.
Business location.
Correct. Yep. I
Perfect.
followed all your steps with all the Google stuff, setting that up. Um, so I did that house. It took me, like I said, it probably took me 6 hours. I mean, that's when I really figured out that you could start making money though doing window cleaning. So the biggest client I've had so far is a car dealership here in Crawfordsville. I walked in, talked to the general manager, gave him my quote, and he said, "Yeah, they'll look into it." And the only advice I think I'm qualified to give right now, this early on, is always follow up, because I would say 90% of all my business so far has been from following up. It hasn't been like on the spot, like, yeah, you can do the job. It's going in the next day. Because actually with this car dealership, I went in the very next day and I asked him what he thought about the bid, and I cleaned his front door windows free, and that's when he
Okay.
decided,
Okay.
uh, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. And that was a $800 job.
All
It took me
right.
like eight hours to do, and then again today because what I struggle with is time management, working a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
So usually on lunch breaks, I go on the Chamber of Commerce website and I copy and paste every single email I can find for businesses, and I send cold emails. And actually, I got one back today for like a wedding barn, and then I actually walked into kind of this factory, and I think today I just found out that I landed that, and that'll be my biggest job yet at right around 1,500.
All
So,
right, man. So you gotta be pumped up from that.
oh yeah, it's nice to hear yeses. I had a lot of, I call it beginner luck. I think I went to two hotels in the town that I work in. The first two immediately, were on board for it. Scheduled it, did it,
Wow.
got them to leave. So far, the only way I've been able to get Google reviews is by asking or telling the owners that if they leave a honest review at any point, between now and the next time I come clean their windows, they can call me up and I'll clean their lobby windows for free. So,
I like it.
um,
Yeah, see here, I just typed in window cleaning Crawfordsville. O'Neill Window Cleaning is right on top of the list. 5 stars, 3 reviews. Okay, awesome. So, how much revenue have you made so far? And what's your goal, first of all? Is your goal to have this replace your full time job, or are you just trying to earn side income here?
well, so kind of a little bit of both. Like number one goal was previously to grow this into a business, and it still is my goal. But from actually cleaning windows, I found that I actually like it and would like it to replace my full time job, and then get it to a point to scale it to where I can take a step back from actually cleaning the windows. But yeah, it's going to be a struggle because I don't really necessarily make enough money at my full-time job. So
What's your
it's
full
kind of,
time job? How much do you make there?
I would say roughly maybe 32 to 34,000 a year.
Okay.
Um, and that's working, no overtime or anything like that. Cause
Yep. Yep.
I try to stay away from, going in. I think switching from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week, like I am, now is going to help with the window cleaning and stuff because it gives me the full days to go out there instead of just the mornings before. So,
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. So you're having some success by walking into these businesses. Did you give them your business card? Take their business card? Did you do the Max Maher 500 business connection thing? Did you listen to that episode 44?
yes.
Yeah,
So actually,
that's huge.
I and just like you said, and I originally when I first started this had 1,000 business cards printed out, and I just actually had to go somewhere locally to get some more made up because I was out.
All right.
I've gone door to door handing out flyers. I mean, I'm not afraid really of failure. I was talking to my wife about this. It's actually kind of refreshing to be told no every once in a while, just because it's a lot better than just dreaming about it.
Yep. Yep.
And so far, revenue wise, like I said, started in the middle of August. So far, I'm at right around 1,600. Um,
Okay.
and then
That's not bad for a month's extra income. That'll go pretty far in Crawfordsville.
yeah, and but the number I'm worried about the most is the monthly recurring revenue because that's what's gonna replace my full time job. And
Hmm.
so far, I'm right around 600.
Oh, you
Counting
have
because I have
you have some businesses that tell you they want to get on a monthly or biweekly schedule.
exactly, yep. So my top two actually seem to be my top three biggest clients. The $1,200 factory is going to do it quarterly, and then
Okay.
also the car dealership is quarterly for the same price.
Dude,
And then
congratulations. So when you're on those 2 jobs, what's your hourly wage and after your expenses?
So far it's been right around $40 to $50 an hour. Um,
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
and
Awesome.
I'm still really slow at cleaning windows. I know the speed will come. So I have maybe a month experience cleaning windows as
Yeah, you're
well.
going to get a lot faster. You're going to get up that are up around 50, $60. Okay. Great. So what are your next steps and what questions do you have for me about how you can really supercharge this?
So my next steps is as far as the research I've done, I know residential window cleaning is kind of coming to a close for the season.
Hmm.
So that's why I've done the flyers. I haven't really had a whole lot of luck yet, but so my biggest focus is to keep landing, bigger commercial jobs that pay well. I actually put in a bid for a pretty large commercial job. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll figure out a way to do it.
What's the job?
Um,
This sounds exciting.
it's over 1,000 windows. That's inside and out though, so about 500 windows, 1,000 panes of glass. Right around $5,000 is
All
what it'd pay.
right.
And I'm pretty positive I got it. The only thing I'm waiting on is they're doing construction right now, so they want to wait for after construction to get it going. So
Yep.
um,
This is good because these big businesses like this will have you come back every few months and you get 2 or 3 contracts where it's $5,000 a pop and you're working for 1 week. I mean, that's pretty lucrative stuff.
exactly. So I
Okay,
mean that's the
awesome.
biggest thing I want advice from you is I know I've read your article about doing it as a side hustle to start.
Mhm.
Any kind of tips, advice on ways to get that and how to know when the right time is.
To quit your job?
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that yet. You got 3 days off a week. You're probably only out working one of those cleaning windows right now, right?
Yeah, that's the problem with time management. Is like I would like to be out there 3 days, but I do have a wife and family, so I try to
Yeah.
balance my time the best I can. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel bad when I'm not out there trying to get it done. So
Well, it's going to be selling first, right? So you need to keep on keeping on with walking in places. You need to set yourself really accountable so that you're knocking off, even if it's 3 or 5 businesses that are big businesses, once a week. You got to keep getting out and hustling. You're doing a great job. Being able to walk in, shake hands, give a card, take a card, and keep following up is going to be your bread and butter. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else is walking in and shaking hands. So do that until you're drumming up business and you're drumming up a lot of business. I think your goal needs to be to quit your job in the springtime. I think this wintertime when it slows down, keep walking in, keep making relationships. Are you comfortable going on the west side of Indy?
yeah, so that's one thing I do have an advantage is I'm near cities that are larger in population. I know Indiana's
How
still
far of
pretty
a drive
small.
is it to the wealthy areas of Indy, like Zionsville and things like that?
Yeah, Zionsville's actually where I was. It was about 45 minutes, and I handed out flyers in one neighborhood. I'm actually I did a house because I read somewhere I don't remember where. I did a house so that I could put a yard sign up in his yard. So
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so that sounds great. I would focus on the high margin businesses like car dealerships in Crawfordsville. There's a lot more than you think in a town that size. And then I would head over to the east side of Indy one day a week and just market until you have a job there a week. And then this winter time, you got to start putting some effort into this website. You got to start writing some articles. I would start recording some videos for YouTube with some keywords of just your job, what you do, and some before and after shots and things like that. Somebody just commented on the live stream that Fishers and Carmel can be areas that you target. I know Carmel's straight north, so probably an hour or so. But yeah, I would just get out and hustle with those cards, man. Keep on keeping on, shaking hands, and you're gonna get some jobs.
okay, and actually, if you have time, I got one more question.
Yep.
So there, I
Yeah,
just wanted to
we got
know.
10 more minutes, man. We got time for a little bit more. We got as much as you need.
Okay, so there is a guy, which is crazy because he goes against everything that Sweaty Startup's all about. But he's one of those local guys in a town like Crawfordsville, well known. He's the only window cleaner that I know in the town. He has pretty much all of the storefront, like lower, paying jobs, but he has, almost all of them. So he told me I actually built a relationship up with him just by actually walked into one of his storefronts and asked him if I could, clean their windows. I told him I know that, his name's Ken. I said I know Ken cleans your windows. I'll just clean them for a Google review, and they said that was fine. So I'm out there cleaning the windows, and he rolls up. So I talked to him for a while, and he actually is a real nice guy. Um, Spent about 45 minutes with him. He was showing me some tips and tricks on cleaning windows, all that good stuff. He told me he makes roughly 30,000 a year just off of his storefront windows.
Wow.
So the question is, uh, he's mentioned it to me as well that he's getting older, getting ready to retire. I'm
Yes,
thinking
yes,
about
yes.
selling off his route.
Yep.
So I'm wrestling with, you know, it seems like the wrong move to go try and steal his clients, steal his storefronts, and instead just kind of wait, play the long game, and hopefully gain all of his route when he goes to retire.
Yep. So I just actually spoke to a guy. His episode is gonna air on the Sweaty Startup, I believe next Wednesday. Let me get the date here because he had I did an episode on the Sweaty Startup about why it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to buy a business, right? Um,
Right.
this guy had me convinced otherwise. He goes around. He's kind of a big deal. Goes around, buys a bunch of businesses, but it's a buyer's market right now. These service businesses are not worth very much money. So what you can do is you can talk to him, you can form a relationship with him, and you can even set up terms where maybe you don't pay him in cash now. You pay him over time based on his book and how much of his book you keep and so on. So I would definitely explore talking to him about possibly buying his book. And just sit down and say, listen, I don't have any money to invest, but I'm working really hard. I want to explore buying your business, and talk to him about it. Don't talk to him about terms at first. Just form some rapport. And next Wednesday, September 18th, episode 95, I'm talking to a guy named Nick Bradley, and he talks about the literal steps that he takes when he goes in and talks to somebody about buying a business. So sometimes you only have to pay 1 or 2 years profit to buy a business. You might get his whole book for 15 grand and it pay for itself in a year. So that's something you should definitely explore. That's pretty exciting to me. If you look at it, let me know how I can help. But I like the thought of it.
Yeah, because I actually didn't even initiate the conversation at all. He just mentioned that he bought his route. I think it was something along the lines of he kept 70% and whoever he bought it off of took the 30% until it was paid off, and that's kind of what he was talking. So I just wanted to make sure I was making the right choice there and not just trying to outdo him. And
yeah, I wouldn't go around trying to steal his business. I wouldn't do that if I were you. There's enough business to go around. There's enough people who haven't signed up yet. There's enough business over in Indy. But yeah, there's 10,000 people that retire every single day in America. 10,000. And most of the entrepreneurs, if you look at where the entrepreneurs are on the scale of age, most of them are between the ages of 40 and 70. There's not a lot of young business owners. So all these entrepreneurs are retiring. They have businesses where they are integral parts. They have businesses where it's really hard for them to step out of the business. So they have no choice but to either close it down or take what they can get, right? So you can jumpstart this business a couple years time and possibly quit your job a lot earlier if you do something like that. So I would definitely explore it. I wouldn't jump the gun, pay anything crazy, but talk to the guy, start a dialogue, and just see where it takes you. But for now, I would go around and keep grinding. What does your wife work? What does she do?
She babysits.
Okay. Do you guys have kids?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a budget of how much money you need to survive? I mean, I'm assuming you're living on your benefits right now.
Yeah. So we know a pretty good number on what we would need.
Yeah.
The other thing is we've bought a house, but we've kind of put a lot of pressure on ourselves to where we're paying a lot monthly, but we'll actually have that house paid off in the next 2.5 years or so.
Wow. Excellent work. So your living expenses are going to really drop after that.
Right.
Are you guys natural savers, or do you drive a brand new F-150 and so on?
I wouldn't. I guess we'd be somewhere in between. I don't drive a new car by any stretch.
Yeah. I mean, if your goal really is to quit your job and your goal really is to buckle down, you can control two things. You can control how much money you're making, and you can control how much money you're spending. So I would do everything you can for both those things. Temporary, right? It's temporary to get, to kind of play the 5-year game. So that's exciting, man. I would keep grinding, keep getting out, making business happen, and reassess in the spring once work kind of kicks back up. I don't see you being busy enough this winter to feed the family personally, but I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, and I mean, I watch. I've started watching a lot of, I guess big window cleaning channels on YouTube, and a lot of them. It was kind of discouraging at first. They said, you can't really. It's not easy to do it in a, smaller city, but I mean, there's businesses everywhere. There's, you just kind of have to look at where you're at and see what you have to deal with. So.
Yep, and I disagree with that. I think that you definitely can make a living for yourself in the small town. I mean, look how easy it was for you to be number one on Google in Crawfordsville. But I would definitely start putting some resources towards Indy. If you have a friend over there that wants to work part-time for you and send a Google Place to their house, or you can get creative on
that's actually a great idea.
Yeah, when we were starting up Storage Squad, when we hired a new manager, a student manager, and he was working and he was delivering some boxes or doing something out of his apartment, he would, take a Google My Business location, went to his house, and that kind of helped us get found on Google a little bit faster, and make some YouTube videos. I know YouTube for window washing is pretty dry, but are pretty competitive. But YouTube for Crawfordsville window cleaning, it wouldn't take a whole lot of production value to pop up on the first page of Google there.
Right.
Yeah, you just need to start doing a lot of things to prepare for next year. This winter is going to be really easy to take it easy. Oh, there's no business right now, but you don't want to wait till May to get serious about it. You want to really do everything you can alongside your job through the wintertime. while obviously not neglecting your family and so on.
Yeah, because that was what going to be my last question was how to, because it's nice to be number one in Crawfordsville, but it's the business is a little less here than it would be to be like number one in a bigger city. But and just some Google searching, and it was a lot of like, hey, pay us and we'll do it. But actually, I have a good friend of mine that cleans windows, for a high rise company. Um, and he's helped me before on some of the bigger jobs, and he lives out there, so that I didn't even think about having him let me mail him a Google My Business stuff.
Yeah, you got to look up some rules on Google. If they're not gonna, if you're not gonna be accepting customers there's some rules against it. But you don't have a lot to lose at this point, right? So, I would. Are you thinking about partnering with the guy, or would you just pay him by the hour to help you?
Yeah, no, I don't want to partner with anybody. I just want to, if I
Yep.
need help, he would
Yep.
be who I would bring on with me. So
Good
because
call.
so
Good
far
call.
on the car dealership, it was here locally. I brought my father-in-law along. He's never
Mhm.
cleaned a window before either, so uh, and he helped me out. So so far, I mean, it's just been just me for the most part.
Yep. Great. Sounds great, man. Seems like you're in a good spot. I would just keep on keeping on with the business connections. That's going to be what's the key for you. Walk in, shake the hand, give the business card. More importantly, take the business card so that you can follow up with them by phone, email, drop back in. And when you get discouraged, um, watch that, listen to episode 44 where Max tells how he did it for 172 straight hours and walked in 500 businesses, right? So that'll get you pumped back up.
Yeah. All right, man. That's about it. I appreciate
Hey,
everything.
thanks. Let's do the same call again this time next year when you're trying to hire employees and you got business going like crazy and you've already quit your job. So keep working, man. Make it happen.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Great call. Great call. Let's try the 8:30 now. Cam should be available. I got to get better about my reminders. I got to remind these people, I guess.
Hello.
Hey, Cam, it's Nick with a Sweaty Startup.
Hey, Nick. How are you, man?
Pretty good. You're live.
Hey, everybody.
All right. It's nice calling a 706 number. Are you in Atlanta right now?
I am in Atlanta. I'm originally from Augusta and had this number since I was like 14. But yeah, I actually live in Atlanta now.
Great, great, great. So let's talk about your videography business, man. Tell me what it is and how far along you are.
Yeah, sure thing. So I guess it would probably be better to tell you how far along I am first. I started back in college with my good friend and roommate at the time. We were involved in a campus ministry, and we would just make goofy, stupid skits to get people to come to the event, the weekly like meeting that we had.
Yep.
And someone reached out and was like, "Hey, I got your name from so and so, and was wondering if you could come shoot a video for me." He's like, "I'm putting on a high school football game and like an all-star game and want it filmed." So me and my buddy were like, "Okay, yeah, sure." Like, and, we'd never done anything outside of our very small sphere here, but totally. And so met with him, went through everything he wanted, and then he was like, "By the way, I have a strict budget of $200."
Oh, ouch.
And we were like, "Wow, that's awesome," because we had never been paid before. And so it was like the best thing ever to us. But yeah, looking back, it was like, that was stupid. But we were like, it was the first thing that made us think, man, are we good enough, for people actually to pay us? So we started putting some feelers out and realized that I guess we were. People wanted, some videos. And so we started doing it. That was about 8 years ago. I took it. I've been doing it part-time or just kind of on the side freelancing for the past 6 or 7 years. And then last fall, when I actually moved to Atlanta to be with my fiance, I just took it full time. I've been working at a big church in Augusta, doing all the media stuff for them, and was like, man, I've got plenty of experience here. I think I can do this. So now I think I have enough, like I said, experience, but what I'm trying to do is find my right client base.
Mm-hmm.
So what I
So
do,
since what week did you go, or when did you go full time? When did you move to Atlanta?
so it was actually Labor Day last year, 2018 was when I moved to Atlanta, um,
Okay.
and started doing it full time.
Okay. Tell me
Um,
about how much business you've gotten and what kind of clients and what kind of work you specialize in.
sure. So year to date, I did about $30,000.
Okay, that's
And
good. All
yeah,
all on your time, no outsourced expenses.
all pretty much all in my time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have small expenses like
Mm-hmm.
having to hire out second shooters or help
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, yeah, it's just all coming to me.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect, man.
so
So 30 grand is quite a bit. That's what's your average job size?
um, it really depends.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the client. I do a lot of stuff for small businesses. I also, one of my good friends works at a marketing firm in Augusta. And
Mm-hmm.
so I still go back probably every other week, honestly, to do some sort of shoot there,
Okay.
where I'm just white labeling under their marketing firm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're
Um,
basically a subcontractor.
yeah. But what I would like to do is be able to find my own clients.
Yep.
So
Yep. So
the ad,
being a sub is great. People love being a sub, and it's recurring revenue and it's reliable revenue. But contractors, like let's say the marketing firm is the contractor in this case, they care about one thing: price. So they're going to
right.
constantly beat you up on price. They're going to have you working for, 15, 20, $30 an hour. And they're going to drag you along, drag you along, drag you along. Where you get to name your own price and where you get to set your own terms and do your own work is if you can bring in the biz, if you can bring in the
Absolutely.
business.
Absolutely.
What percentage of that 30K was through that subcontracting work?
Um, Probably right at half, maybe actually a little more than half,
Okay, let's assume
came
20
through
grand.
them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably fair. And so yeah, they're not too bad. Actually, really like the guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a pretty scrappy group. So it's just like hey, this is what we need, quick and dirty. Like come in, do it, get the whole thing done in like a week or two, turnaround time, and have something that we can put on their website or use
Mm-hmm.
for advertising purposes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's never. I had a conversation with him one time a few months back, and I was like, we are talking about Addie's, advertising awards, and they were like, man, everything that we submitted is like not as good as what we can do because we're always just doing 80% of the work so that we can pump out content, but we're
Mm-hmm.
never doing our full potential's worth. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm never able to fully tap into my
Yeah.
capabilities.
Yep, yep. Okay, yeah, I remember you reached out to me several months ago and I looked at your portfolio. It's pretty awesome work. I mean, this
Thanks.
this is work that if you were at a big firm, you'd be selling these vids for 5 or 10 grand each, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, what have you done to try to find biz in Atlanta to drum up your own business?
So the main thing that I've done is kind of just an old school networking mindset. Who do I know in Atlanta, and
Mm-hmm.
then who do they know? And
Mm-hmm.
so reached out to pretty much everyone that I know or have at least met as well,
Mm-hmm.
and said, what small businesses do you know, or who do you know that runs a small business or works for a small business,
Mm-hmm.
or just somebody that has a bigger business but needs help with video, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been pretty much all
Social
that
marketing,
kind of,
basically.
yeah, networking, word of mouth
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Have you done
mindset
Have
there.
you done any cold calls or walk-ins?
I have done very few cold calls, and even when they are, it's usually I try to do hey, so and so, I know them too,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
have some sort of foot in the door there.
Mm-hmm.
But haven't done any walk-ins. I want to, and I'm actually planning on it when I get back from my honeymoon, which I'm getting
Oh,
married.
you're about to get married. Congratulations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm getting married November 2nd, so
Okay.
about not quite less than 2 months now,
So what are you
actually.
doing for the next month and a half? Just wedding planning and busy, right?
Yeah, pretty much trying to wrap up projects and
Okay.
let
Okay.
clients know, hey, I'm
Hmm.
going to be gone for like a solid 3 weeks,
Yep.
um,
Yep. I wouldn't. I
doing all
wouldn't
that.
wait. I wouldn't wait. I think you saying that you're really busy and that you got your wedding and that you got, obviously a 3-week honeymoon and everything, which I agree with. I think you shouldn't wait. I think that's an excuse. I think
Okay.
you need to get out and go see some people.
Cool.
Get some business cards. I mean, literally exactly. Did you listen to the previous conversation with Dan, the window man? Listen to episode 44 of the Sweaty Startup, where Max Maher talks about his 500 business connections, where he walked in stone cold to 500 different businesses. And
Yes, I did listen to that one.
400 of them told him that he was an idiot. Get out of here.
Yeah.
They were mean to him. He took rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. And 100 of them let him take their card. And he followed up, and he followed up, and he followed up. And sometimes they sent him business right away, and sometimes on the 5th follow-up, they sent him a referral. And it was harder for him because he was just trying to get them to refer him business. They weren't even the ones that had anything on the line. So if you get out and you set sales goals, like I have a whole episode on videography because I feel so strongly about videography. Videography was one of those businesses where I almost put it on my businesses I hate list, but because there's so many people that are passionate about it. And the technology is getting so good, and the editing and stuff is getting so good. And you can learn, if you spent 20 hours on YouTube, you could learn how to put together a pretty darn good video, right? So you have a lot of competition. There's a lot of people who love doing what you do, but nobody wants to sell it. Nobody knows how to sell it. Nobody wants to sell it. So if you look at any really successful videography firm or a marketing firm, somebody in there knows how to sell. That's just the bottom line. Like they can be the best videographers in the world, and if they don't know how to sell, if they don't know how to walk into a meeting and compel somebody to spend the money and make them trust them and talk to them and get their trust, all that. If they don't know how to do that, they're not getting any business. Period. I don't care how good you are. Gone are the days of putting awesome stuff on Instagram and just getting followers like crazy. Gone are those days. So you're gonna have to get out and sell it. So the social, like your social network has been kind of your crutch, and like this is my this is what I need to kind of get out of my comfort zone here. Forget that. Make a list of there's probably 100 businesses that are high margin within, where do you live in Atlanta? Within 5 miles of where you are right now, where you're sitting. Do you live like Midtown, Buckhead area?
I live in like Grant Park right now.
Okay, yeah. So that's
just
tons of
south
businesses, tons of businesses all around you. Put yourself out there, walk in their office, go see them, cold call them, cold email them, and just try to set goals for yourself. And it's going to be a long, long drag, and it's going to be 30 days of it before you get a single call back. So that's why I think you should start now, doing a couple hours of this every day now. Because it's not going to happen right away. You're not going to do this for 3 days and then just get business pouring in. It's going to have to be something that you keep up steadily for 6 months, and you just hold yourself accountable. Maybe you get an accountability partner, like you talked to Dan, the window man, who was just on this episode about how he's got to go do the same thing you're going to have to do in Indianapolis, trying to get people to let him clean the windows.
Yeah.
Just, I'm going to make this many connections. This is going to be my pitch. I'm going to walk in, I'm going to shake their hand, and I'm going to say, hey, my name's Cam. I'm a videographer. I can make a really, really good video to get your customers to trust you. Here's my card. Look at what I've done. Almost all businesses need this stuff. We know that video is the future. We know that YouTube is going to take over. It already is the second largest search engine in the world. Having video on your website, SEO purposes are huge, right? So you need to start getting your own clients right away, and you'll find out really soon thereafter that they're going to get these videos from you, and they're not going to know what to do with these videos. They're not going to know how to promote them. They're not going to know where to put them. They're not going to know how to make them searchable. They're not going to know. They're going to need a website. They're going to need social media marketing. They're going to need click marketing. So you start passing that business to a marketing firm. They start passing videography business back to you. It's a win-win-win-win. Or you hire or partner with a marketing guy.
Yeah. And I mean, even with me working with the marketing firm that I've contracted under out of Augusta, I've learned a ton, and so
you can do a lot of this stuff yourself right now.
Right. Yeah. So I even tell my clients that I'm like, hey, that's part of the process. Is when I sit down with them and go over, it's not just like, hey, what's the video going to look like, but it's, hey, what are you going to do with it? What's your distribution? What's your plan for this? How are you going to make it go to work for you? And so I feel like that's something that I can't really tell people, in a first initial contact sort of thing.
But there's an episode also that I interviewed Oren Klaff about, and he wrote a book and he came on the book tour. He's a big Silicon Valley guy who pitches and sells big deals. And he has a really interesting framework about how he frames his relations with customers. And it's the perfect thing for you to listen to, because you want customers that are not going to beat you up on price. You want customers that trust you. You want customers that are going to give you the reins to do what you need to do and take your advice and just do it. So you have to walk in and you have to frame your interaction with them. If you walk in and you're needy and it's anything you need and shaking your hand and say, I'm just trying to get going, that's a totally different conversation than, my name's Cam, I'm really good at what I do, I'm busy, you're busy, it's awesome that our paths aligned right now, but just as much as I'm selling you my video, I'm making sure you're the right customer for me. So I have some questions for you. And
Right.
So you vet your clients. You don't take clients that beat you up on price. You charge 50% more than what you're comfortable charging. And those are the clients that are going to supercharge your business. And then they're going to tell their friends. And their other business owner friends at the Rotary Club or the Country Club are going to come calling you as well. So I'd highly recommend checking out that episode. I'm going to get the number here for you. But yeah, so that's I mean, that's gonna be the plan for you. No, episode 82, flip the script and close the deal.
82. Okay.
Yeah, with Oren Klaff, and his book, Pitch Anything, and Flip the Script are both pretty good. What other questions and what other challenges do you have?
I think that along those lines of the selling and the vetting and finding the clients is the big thing. So it's like, I guess the follow-up question to that would be, okay, well, what would be your number one vetting question for finding the right type of clients when I go in there? Somebody that's going to trust me, give me creative control, and say, hey,
It's margins. It's a business with a marketing budget.
Okay.
You don't go to the restaurants that don't clean their stuff. Go to the restaurants with the hand towels next to the sink. Like I was in King and Duke in Atlanta doing a podcast, and that's a place that you should walk in. Just places that are high margin. I'm talking about the investment bank, and also businesses that don't know social media and YouTube is something that they should be focusing on. Small investment management companies, small real estate investment. Like I walked in a real estate investment trust that works in Atlanta, right near SunTrust Park. Is that their their whole new area? Yeah. They're right there. They were in this small office, and their website just looked like junk, but they were awesome people. Like they did really, really good work. They would raise more money. Their clients would trust them more if they had an awesome video that you put together of the owner and the CEO and the head guy all in an interview style, right? You need to get really, really good at the interview style, because
I've been shooting interviews for a decade.
Perfect. So that's excellent. Like and then there's other businesses that know they need video. They're just too busy to do it. So you're going to have to take the reins, walk in and say, this is what I'll do. This is the budget. This is what you'll get. Meet me on this day. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to put the script together for you. And they'll be like, damn, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's an expert. I'm not going to shop this around. I'm going to hire him.
Yeah.
But yeah, if somebody says, and I know videography is tough because you kind of got to walk in and ask them what their budget is right off the bat, and then give them something based on that budget. I would say, like, look, I'll do a 3-minute video that's a highlight of an interview. The shoot will be 4 hours. That's my base package, and it's $1,500 or so,
right.
Or however long you think it'll take you. If it's 2 days work, then it's $2,000. You can put packages together. Put 3 packages. Don't put 2. Don't put a small one and a big one. Put a small one that you think most people will take, a middle one that some people will take, and then a hugely expensive one that you don't think anybody will take. But put it on your website, so that you don't have to ask them what their budget is for video. So yeah, I think that's.
If I put those packages on my website, you think put the price point there with it as well?
I don't know. I think you can experiment different ways. Get some advice from some other videographers. I'm not in the business.
Yeah.
So I would get some advice and make that call. But I'm just giving you an example of a way that you could frame the sales interaction when you go in and interact with some of these people who are making these decisions.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's would probably be my next question, is just how to find the person who is making those decisions, because I've talked to tons of people who I think are, the one who can make the call, but then it turns out, oh, they have to go check with their boss. So how do I, in a cold call situation, get in touch with the man in charge?
Yeah, that getting past the gatekeeper's tough. I mean, there's a lot of research out there on sales tactics that you can do to get past the gatekeeper, but it's going to be trial and error for you. It's going to be putting yourself out there. It's going to be asking to speak with them. It's going to be when you're in person. Also, it's a lot harder for people to turn you away. It's really easy for people to be rude and get you off the phone as soon as possible. You know what I mean? So if you get out and actually walk in, I know it sounds ridiculous to put a nice shirt on and walk in an investment banking office, but I think you'll get further than you think trying to do that stuff. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing that stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. One more question for you, if I got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Niche. Picking my niche and figure out how narrow I need to go with it is small businesses, or a business that's doing $1 million or less annually. Is that enough of a niche, or do I need to do restaurants that are doing that, or like you said, like professional services that are doing that? How much do I need to niche down for video production itself?
When I was making $1 million in revenue, I didn't have a video budget. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
We didn't get a video budget until we were at 2 or 3, just because our margins weren't there. We were making, when you're making $100,000 a year, especially many of these small businesses, they don't have customer problems. They don't have the need to try to find more customers. They got customers running out their ears. They got employee problems, especially the labor intensive ones like lawn care and this and that. I would focus on professional services just to try. I mean, you need to cast a wide net right now and say, what am I good at? What can I deliver value in? And try all those things. And while you're trying them, track your time, track your profitability, track your margins, start collecting data. Don't forget to collect the data, and then figure out what you want to focus on as you go. And you'll naturally fall into your niche. And as soon as you kind of get some traction and you're out talking to some businesses, that's when you can that's when you can like start saying no. You can start saying no, that you're not the right customer for me. And no on all this stuff. This is what I do. Like, I do interview style videos for professional services, or I do, high-end commercials for churches, or I do, highlight films for recruited athletes in the rich Atlanta suburbs that are trying to go to the Ivy League to play hockey or football. Like, that's what I do. So eventually you can get there. But right now, cast a wide net, do what you're good at, because you're good at a lot of different stuff, and track all your data, figure out what's going to stick.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I have seen times where, I've talked to a potential customer and said, hey, this is what I can do. This is my services that I offer. These are all the experience that I have. And they say, well, have you ever worked with a blah, blah, blah before? Whatever their thing is, fill in the blank. And I say, well, not per se, but I've done enough video where it translates across,
Yeah, you need to do a lot of research before you walk into every sales interaction, and just listen to that episode with Oren Klaff and strike that expert, speak your language kind of thing, right? Strike that chord, like, so that they don't have to ask if you've ever done that kind of video. You're talking the way they talk about the things that they do, and then they'll trust you, and they're not going to ask you that question.
Gotcha.
Yep. Great. Yep. So it's not an easy task. You realize that, right? You're in a passion project. It's a tough task. And if you sit back and don't do the things that are uncomfortable, and you don't do the hard stuff, and you don't get sweaty and nervous before you walk in daily. If you're not doing that stuff daily, it's gonna be really, really, really hard for you to ever build something that's great. You know what I mean? And what's your goal? What's your goal with this whole thing? Do you just want to have a one-man shop that earns, $100,000 a year so that you can get creative and you can start doing what you want to do and you can get your time back? Or do you want to build a business around it?
Kind of something in the middle, I think. I would like to have a small team around me, but definitely keep it small and, mean and lean. And so kind of something in the middle. I'm not looking to build the next billion-dollar company by any means, but I also don't want to do this by myself forever.
Yep.
So
that's good. And you got some time. You got some time before you have to decide all that. But I would get your sales skill honed. get your sales skill honed. Start watching, YouTube videos on sales. Start listening to podcasts on sales. Start reading books on sales, and then just train yourself. It's uncomfortable as heck when you're walking into these situations. Uncomfortable. Your lizard brain in the back of your head. It's like walking up to a girl at a bar and asking her for a date. It really is. It's that scary to do this stuff. And the moment you start doing it, it's going to get easier. It's like a muscle. You're training it. It's getting easier. It's getting easier. It's getting easier. It's getting easier. And the business is going to start coming, man. It'll start pouring in if you get really serious about doing that stuff.
Can do.
Good. So get out, get after it, and don't wait till after your honeymoon. Get some really good work in every day prospecting. Like, I want you to wake up and before 10 a.m. you've done 2 hours of prospecting. Like it's either walking in, it's making cold calls, making cold emails, targeting your businesses, planning for the next day. Like every day, that's the most important work for you right now is prospecting, bringing in your own business. Because the more business you got coming in, the more likely you can name your price, the more likely you can get that price, and the more likely you can earn $100,000 a year on working 6 months a year.
That sounds nice.
Go get it, man. Go get it. We'll talk this time next year when you're ready to bring on some help and you're overloaded and you're turning down business and you don't know what to do at that point.
That sounds great.
All right. Hope the Sweaty Startup gets big enough where I can hire you to do some vids with me.
Yeah, man. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thanks, Cam, for calling in. Appreciate it. And
All right,
enjoy the wedding, man, and have a good fall.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right. Keep me in touch. Bye.
See ya.
Another great call. So we have one more person, Ashley. I'm a couple minutes late. Last call of the night. If you're still watching or listening somewhere, thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Ashley. This is Nick with the Sweaty Startup.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Are you expecting my call?
Yes.
Perfect. The last three were not, so I'm glad you're ready. I hope I can help a little bit.
Yeah.
Where are you? Where do you live?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Where are you out of? What city?
So I'm in Tacoma, but right now my full-time job is Seattle. In Seattle.
Yeah. So you're way out west. It's nice and early for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what do you have going on? What's your business?
Well, it's just started. I was looking for something that could really use my hands. So I have always loved refurbishing things. So I take old furniture, vintage furniture that has seen better days, and I repair it, paint it, stain it, whatever it needs,
Okay.
to give it a new life, and then sell it
Perfect.
to the customer.
Perfect. I love it. So what have you done so far? You said it's just starting. What has been your experience so far?
I'm trying to figure everything out. My number one, so I've seen, small stores that do this, and they seem to be okay. They're still standing. So I'm just trying to figure out where I fit in.
So
I
so
guess-
have you gotten a couple pieces? Have you sourced some furniture? Have you refurbished it and you
Yeah,
have some
yeah.
stuff that's ready to sell?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my clientele, and I don't know if storefront is best or if I should sell online. I'm just
So
trying to find them.
I'm gonna say that I would not at all think about a storefront yet.
Okay.
Down the road, absolutely, that's a possibility. And I'm no expert in the business, so take what I say obviously with a grain of salt. But I would not think about a storefront yet unless you are going into a current store and you convince them to, say, let you have a pop-up station in the corner, or or maybe you commission one of your pieces there for them to sell, and say, let me leave this here for a week, and if it doesn't sell, I'll come back and get it, and if it does sell, you get half, right, or something like
Yeah.
that. Like I would walk into a lot of these small furniture stores, introduce yourself, and have a little album of photos of what you've done, of some types of pieces, and say, like, this is what I do. I'm really passionate about this. I do really good work. Tell them what price point you think it would sell at, and then ask them if they'll let you try to sell it in there.
Okay.
I would do that before you before you go and open your own store. Another thing you can do is farmers market type things where it's virtually free to come and set up a tent to then try to attract some customers that way. Have you made a sale yet, or how many pieces of furniture do you have?
Just like a handful. I
Most
have not
mostly
made
what
sales.
types? Mostly what types of furniture?
Dressers.
Dressers. Okay, great. In a certain style?
Um, Not particularly. That was another thing. I don't, it's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's not a specific style. Like there's some that you can really hone in on.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to do that right away because I wasn't quite sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like it. So, I think, yeah, trying to figure out exactly who your ideal customer is for that piece of furniture.
Yeah.
What price point are you trying to sell the furniture at?
Um, it depends on how old it is and the styles and then what needs to be done. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, if it's, a really great piece, but it needed a lot of repair, so let's say there's water damage, obviously I have to charge more for that.
Mm-hmm.
But anywhere between 450 and 1200.
Okay. Okay. And these are nice pieces of furniture that will
Yeah.
last a long time and everything else. Great. So did you put together a website and try to possibly sell them on maybe like Facebook Local or Craigslist or your own website?
I wasn't sure which way to go. It seems like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people sell on Etsy
Mm-hmm.
or Facebook business, and then you could do your own website. So I wasn't sure which way to traffic in the
Yeah.
custom.
Yeah, starting your own website, especially if you use like if you have a pretty low budget for starting the business, you can start a website for free with like
Yeah.
a .blogspot or .wordpress.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely do that and start writing about furniture, start documenting your process, start recording videos of you out shopping for furniture. Kind of make it a vlog of a blog of you sharing your journey on furniture. And just do,
Selling myself.
yeah, exactly. You'll love, not only will you like doing that, but it'll also just start getting content out there for people to find. Don't expect them to just start rushing into your site. I really think the key to your success is going to be trying to sell this stuff local,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find people in your town who like the kind of thing that you have, which will be a lot of work to sell it. But if you do it and you can do it, I think that should be your focus. Secondary focus should be trying to sell at a commission, like a pop-up table at a market or a festival or something along those lines, or doing a farmer's market. And then thirdly, you should do Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, things like that. And then last,
Mm-hmm.
you should focus on building your blog, building out your content. So yeah, that sounds awesome. I think you're ready. It sounds like you have a couple pieces that you're ready to try to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Have you done any sales activities so far?
No, I have not.
Yeah, yeah. That's the hardest part because I know that you probably really like doing the work of the furniture
Hmm.
refurbishing, but maybe sales is not something that is easy.
Um, yeah, it was trying to figure out, where I should start with it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it sounds like going to the stores is like the best way to start, and then
Hmm.
doing the website and
Yeah.
building that up.
Yep. I
So
think I
building the
think just
brand.
thinking about different ways, and again, I think you have a lot better idea of your target customer than I do. So first, I would
Hmm.
start off with brainstorming your target customer. Like these are my 5 pieces. I want to think about all of them. Who is going to buy this? How old are they? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? Is it a 50-year-old who has 2 kids in private school and they're at the local academies football games? Or you can really hone in on thinking about who those pieces are for. And if you
Okay.
if you target that, if you say, okay, I think this is a person who lives in a house like this, the style of this, and they're probably about this age, that's my target customer, then just
Hmm.
brainstorm, work from there about how you can possibly get in front of them and sell it. Even if it means going door to door with some photo albums.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get creative on some things that you can do. I'm assuming that you'll want to go after wealthier, higher end people because,
Yeah.
$1,000 on a dresser or something like that might not just be in everybody's budget, but that's fine. That's okay. You don't need every customer, right? You only need to sell 3 or 4 pieces a month to have some pretty good side income coming in.
Yeah. How long does it normally take to build a clientele or get your business to a point where it could be, you can leave your main job?
Yeah,
Is there any?
it all depends on the business. It all depends on how good you get at sales and how you can target your market, and then what price you can convince them to pay for it. There's
Mhm.
so many different variables. So yeah, I think you can get creative. And again, this is just some quick brainstorming on my end about some low cost marketing. But if you really put your mind to it and do some journaling and some thinking on your target customer, how you're going to reach them, I think that
Mhm.
that should be exactly where you start. And I wouldn't worry at all about quitting your job yet. I wouldn't worry at all
Yeah.
about don't get too much inventory yet. Um, have your pieces that you have now and sell them before you make more pieces, right?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be fun.
Okay.
Great. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah. So, we're actually my significant other and I are planning on moving in a year.
Okay.
How do I move my business with me?
Yeah, that's tricky. So you live in Washington right now outside of Seattle. Where are you moving to?
Los Angeles?
Okay. Well, Los Angeles has a lot more target customers for your type of
Yeah.
stuff, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I think furniture is something that people commission. I think people pay a serious price for commissioned furniture and have it shipped in. So have you thought about getting in with interior designers
No, I
or
haven't.
architects?
No,
Like
that's a really good idea.
yeah, because somebody's wealthy, they buy a house and they're trying to figure out how they're going to design this house. They're going to hire an interior designer for 30 or 40 grand to put $400,000 worth of furniture in their house. That's an extreme example, right? But sometimes
Yeah.
it's much lower level. Sometimes they pay an interior designer $1,000 for some consulting about some pieces to buy.
Hmm.
If they know about your furniture, if those people know about your furniture, that could be unbelievable for you because when you leave, they could still be commissioning your pieces. You could still be emailing them pictures of what you have. They could still be
Hmm.
bringing it in, and they're going to be selling for you, right? They're going to be making that sales decision for you.
Yeah.
So, and there's also if you're really good at repairing furniture, that's a totally different business. I'm kind of thinking of buying and then keeping it yourself and selling it to somebody else. But then there's the entire business of refurbishing furniture for people, like a family heirloom that is, not in good shape or they want a different color. You can do that kind of work too. And I think that is something that you should have a Google My Business location for, a website for, so that people can Google search you and find you online because it's kind of a service business. And that's really kind of what the Sweaty Startup is all about, is providing a
Yeah.
service to people. So there's tons of resources on my website about getting the word out there for you to find customers that way. But
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of exciting because there's so many different ways that you can go about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
And
regarding the
I
move,
was
to give you some specific actionable advice for the move, I wouldn't worry about it. I would sell it where you are right now if I were you.
okay.
I
Perfect.
would, you need to prove your concept.
Hmm.
You'll build some relationships, hopefully, that you can continue to sell to and ship the furniture to. And then you're going to know by the time you go to LA next year what works and what doesn't. But one thing you shouldn't do is wait. That's one thing that
Okay.
you should not do. You need to get out and try to sell this stuff and figure out your niche, figure out who your customers are, in advance. So
Waiting is definitely my biggest hurdle.
you're just afraid to
I'm
jump
pretty
in.
quick. Then like I need to know everything before I do it.
Yeah,
So
analysis
I'm
paralysis.
learning from, yeah, I need to just jump in and do it.
There's never a good time to get out and get uncomfortable and try to sell your work.
Yeah,
There's never a
exactly.
good time. Sounds
No.
like you have some pieces though, right? You have some stock.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's your next step, and tomorrow morning or tonight, whatever, you just got to start doing some prospecting and figuring out how to talk to these customers. Find the biggest interior designer, the biggest baddest interior designer in your town, and give them a gift. give them one of your pieces that you don't have very
Oh,
much money and just some hours in, and put a card on it and some flowers and say, my name, is Ashley. I can make amazing commissioned furniture pieces for you and your clients. Give me a call. That's just an idea. I don't know if that's worth doing, or if many people try to do that, but I would definitely target those interior designers.
okay.
Perfect. I hope this helps.
Thank you. It did. It helped a lot.
Good.
It helped me realize that on some aspects I'm on the right track, and then other ones I need to change a little bit and consider, other aspects like servicing furniture, repair instead of just the sales aspect. So that was great.
That's a easier business to get momentum in, I would say, because retail's tough unless you're good at selling it. So if you get a Google My Business location and a website for repairing and whitewashing or anything to kitchen cabinets in people's homes, like those are big as well. Like people move into a house, there's really nice real wood kitchen cabinets and drawers, but they're in really bad shape. Right? That's a huge deal. That happens all the time. Like my family, when we moved into our place back when I was a kid, the cabinets were amazing wood cabinets, but they were beat up and the paint was chipped off and they looked like crap. A lot of people would rip those cabinets out, but that's an arm and a leg. They're going to spend 15 grand sometimes on kitchen cabinet sets. If you can come in on site and service those cabinets and paint them and get them all in perfect shape, that would be a business where you could make really good money doing that.
That's also a great idea.
Cool. Yeah, and don't be afraid to post in the Sweaty Startup sub as well, because people, if you just say like how would you market or where would you take this skill? Because basically what you have right now is a skill. You have a skill of repairing and making furniture awesome.
Yeah.
But that's all you have. So where you go with that business wise should definitely be your next step. So try to put the hobby and the habit of buying and refurbishing furniture on hold. Get out of your comfort zone. Find some customers. Figure out how you can start to make a little money. That would be my advice.
Okay.
Perfect. Ashley, keep us posted on how everything goes. Do you have any last questions?
I don't.
Perfect. Have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the fall, and reach out if you need anything else.
Thank you so much,
All right.
Nick.
Bye, Ashley.
Bye.
Another great call, and I think that'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I think we had some awesome conversations. It looks like there's some people chatting over here. One person says they've been looking for a 4-door oak wardrobe for 3 years, and they'd pay a serious price for the right wardrobe. So Ashley, you should definitely message them. But yeah, this is what we're trying to do with Sweaty Startup. We're trying to make a little bit of a community. We're trying to get you guys involved. I'm not particularly smart, but I know the things that it takes to build a business, and they're all the things that you already know, but they're just not fun to do. It's not fun to do this stuff. You become a business owner, a successful business owner, by doing the stuff that isn't fun. So thanks for tuning in. If you want to go on the next episode of this, email me, nick@sweatystartup.com. All you got to do is tell me your business, what you're doing, a couple questions that you have, put your phone number in there, and if I think it would be a good conversation here on the live stream on YouTube, I'll send you a link. You can schedule, and then I'll call you. So that's great. Thank you for tuning in again, and we'll try to do this next week. Maybe we'll do this next Wednesday. We'll make it at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, Eastern Time. We'll take some calls like this and talk to some people, give them some advice for what it's worth. So thank you all for bearing with me. Thank you for being a part of the Sweaty Startup community. As you know, this is just a hobby for me. I'm the only one who does anything for this, but I'm having a ton of fun. I'm meeting great people. So thank you for being a part of the community, and we'll see you soon.